Today's video is spicy because in this video, I'm going to share with you guys information that has been leaked from something that seems to be a very reliable source. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. And the rumor is further that the Polestar 2 facelifted version or the model 2024, we really don't know if it's a facelift or if it's just, a mechanical update. Either way, tomorrow we are going to know. So I'm going to cover this tomorrow in detail, hopefully with all the news and the information. But in today's video, we're going to dive into this leaked information. So if you don't want to miss out on tomorrow's video, which is the actual reveal of the Polestar 2, the updated version or the facelifted version, please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that video, and also sound that notification bell. And also, if you like Polestar and Polestar 2 and Polestar 3 content in general, please give this video a thumbs up down below. Thank you very much. So this information has actually been floating around the internet for a few days, and other creators have actually made videos on this topic, but I didn't know about this until my friend Volvo Christian on Instagram, who has an awesome page about Volvo and Polestar, brought this to my attention so I can make this video. So huge thanks again to you, Christian, and if you like Volvo and Polestar content, please check him out. There will be a link down below, and if you like his content, please go ahead and give him a follow. That is much appreciated, so thank you very much. This new information that has been leaked seems to be very reliable, and the reason for that is very interesting. The reason is this information actually comes from leasing companies who offer the Polestar 2 as, well, a car to lease. They have been updating their web pages, their internal information and computer systems to include updated range numbers, acceleration, and specs like that. And it seems like Polestar have given these companies, this information so they could prepare for the launch. But some companies have, well, made this public before the embargo has been lifted. And I don't think, well, Polestar are going to be happy with that. And I don't think, well, these leasing companies may be given this information in the future again before, well, there is a reveal. And if they are, I think Polestar is going to be really, really mad at them. But either way, that gives us leaked information. So we actually, most likely, I think this is very, very, very accurate, this information about the updated Polestar 2. So let's jump into all the details. Today's video is sponsored by Ancharge, an awesome app that will actually give you free charging in exchange for completing challenges that actually help improve the charging networks. You can also do online shopping via the app to also gain kilometers, and there's also a leaderboard that actually shows you the progress of other people, and you then can compete helping other people, helping you improve the charging network. This is my closest challenge, rate the Ionity station. It's 11 meters away because I'm parked right next to it. And it's going to give me 10 kilometers, and I already have 5 kilometers just downloading, installing, and registering the app, and every kilometer is worth 8€. So there'll be a link to this app in the description box down below. It's pretty cool, and I recommend you guys to just check it out and try it out. So huge thanks to Ancharge for sponsoring today's video. First off, we have the standard range single motor, which now has a gross battery capacity of 69 kilowatt hours, and the battery seems to be produced by LG and has a nickel manganese cobalt chemistry. And this was so interesting because this information is so detailed down to the T, and that's why I think this is very, very accurate. It now has 135 kilowatts of DC fast charging and should do 10 to 80% in 34 minutes. Also shifting to rear-wheel drive and a 272 horsepower electric motor on that rear axle that also delivers 490 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is in 6.4 seconds, and top speed now goes from 160 kilometers per hour to 205 kilometers per hour. And this, the most important thing, the WLTP range is now 518 kilometers or 324 miles. And also the drag coefficient is the same at 2.78 CD. Then we have the long range single motor, which has a gross battery capacity of 82 kilowatt hours and seems to be produced by the Chinese battery manufacturer CATL. This also has the same nickel manganese cobalt chemistry, and this time a peak charging speed of 205 kilowatts, doing 10 to 80% in 28 minutes. This is also rear-wheel drive, but this time with 300 horsepower, but the same 490 newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.1 seconds, and a top speed of 205 kilometers an hour. This having a WLTP rated range of 635 kilometers or 397 miles. Then we have the long-range dual motor, and all long-range models seem to have that same battery from Cattle. This time all-wheel drive, 421 horsepower, that is up from 408, and a torque number of 740 newton meters. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour now in 4.6 seconds instead of 4.9, and that same 205 kilometer an hour top speed as before. But this time with a WLTP rated range of 592 kilometers or 370 miles. Lastly, we have the performance version, same battery as in the long range, but this time 476 horsepower from dual electric motors, but the same 740 newton meters of torque. This also cuts the 0 to 100 kilometers an hour time by 0.2 seconds. Before it was 4.4 with the updated performance, now it's 4.2 seconds. Same top speed though, 205 kilometers an hour, and also WLTP rated range is 569 kilometers or 356 miles. And this is why I think this information not only is accurate but also reliable, because when we have videos about, speculation and guessing like I did a few weeks ago on this exact same topic, where I took, the numbers of the updated Volvo XC40 and C40 and just, converted them to the Polestar 2 numbers, we got a very good estimation. But when I and other people make videos like that, which I think is very accurate, we don't have information like battery chemistry, battery producer, top speed, 0 to 100 kilometer an hour times. So that's why I think, because this information is so detailed, I think this is actually real. But we'll know for sure tomorrow, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But what is interesting is if we now compare this Polestar 2 with the Tesla Model 3. And of course, the big news of the past week has been Tesla price cuts on the Model 3 and Model Y across the globe. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen with pricing from the competition in the time to come, especially with Polestar, because the Polestar 2 has actually been very competitively priced in the markets it's been available in, especially markets that offered the standard range single motor and also long range single motor, like here in Norway. The standard range single motor before the price cut was substantially cheaper than the Tesla Model 3, and even with this price cut, I think the standard range single motor is still cheaper, though that model was sold out at the end of last year and is coming back, I've been told, by Polestar, hopefully with this update and this reveal. But will it be more expensive or cheaper than the old model? Will it be more expensive or cheaper than the Tesla Model 3 standard range? We'll have to see, but I suspect that they may just try to undercut the Tesla, well, just a little bit to be a little bit cheaper. But let's take a look at the numbers now, because this is very interesting. So you take the Model 3 standard range, you compare it to the standard range single motor Polestar 2, and the Polestar 2 actually has 27 kilometers more range WLTP. They're both rear-wheel drive, and the Tesla Model 3 is a little bit quicker from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, but they are very closely matched, but that Polestar actually gets a quite bit more range. Then we take the long-range dual-motor versions of both cars, and the Tesla Model 3 has 10 kilometers more range, which is a little bit, but they're very closely matched, and also it's a little bit quicker from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, about 0.2 seconds. But that range is within about 5%, and in the real world, I suspect it's going to be just exactly the same. It's going to be a wash which one is better. Then we have the performance versions of both cars, where the Polestar 2 actually has 22 kilometers more range, but the Tesla Model 3, the 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.3 seconds. But I think that is with an asterisk, like with the Plaid, it's like 1 foot rollout, it's downhill, and also with like no humidity, and also the sun is out with 100% battery. You guys know what I mean. These performance versions of Teslas never deliver the promised numbers, and an example of this is that when the Polestar, the Model 3 performance has been pitted against like the Porsche Taycan 4S and Audi e-tron GT, where it's almost a second quicker from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, the performance is about the same. So I think in the real world, the numbers are closer to 4 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. So a Polestar 2 performance is going to be much closer than the numbers suspect. But guys, this is so interesting because longtime viewers may know that a few years ago, actually, I made a video about this exact same thing, that if Polestar keep, improving their product with updates and just, well, doing these updates, it's going to match the Tesla Model 3 one day. And it doesn't quite match it on efficiency, but the way Polestar is able to offset that is with a little bit bigger battery. And if you're getting the same range or more range for the same battery, does efficiency really matter? Well, maybe sometimes, but I think the most important thing is the range, and performance numbers here are very, very closely matched. And the Polestar 2 and the Tesla Model 3 have never been this close. So guys, let me know what you think down below, and are you excited about the reveal tomorrow? So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.